snap. Check out the countdown. Oh, snap. That means ropes is going down. Let's get it. You know, off the top rope never misses a beat. Quite jazzy, if you ask me. The ropes gets jazzy on the returning off the top rope Wednesday night. My live guest, she was jazz-tacular in ECW and TNA. Jasmin St. Clair hits the ropes to talk it up with your boy Ty Asbury this Wednesday night. Now let's get jazzy on off the top rope Wednesday night. As always, sizzling and
Tyrone Asbury. Yo. Yeah. I need y'all to listen to me right now as I take you on this journey. Podcast journey. Only the greats can.
What's up, everybody? This is your boy Ty Asbury live on Off the Top Rope, the returning Off the Top Rope. You know, my mama told me today, Ty, you know, if a podcast is sizzling tonight, then it's definitely yours. It is Off the Top Rope. And I want to say this one thing. Tonight's episode has rhythm. It is jazzy. And my live guest, whatever wrestling promotion she competes in, she is jazzy. The one, the only. My live guest, Jasmin St. Clair, is live on Off the Top Rope. Jasmin, my dear, how you doing tonight?
Thank you very much for having me on the show.
Much appreciated, and it's an honor to have you on Off the Top Rope tonight. And first and foremost, before we went on the air, you just got done doing a podcast. I know you're getting ready for the big show on Saturday with, of course, XPW. And I got to say this, like, how do you maintain having a crazy, busy life?
I don't know. I think it's just a matter of staying busy all the time, like just being as busy as you can, that you don't have time to get engaged in, are you allowed to curse?
Hey, the ropes is like your home. You can curse, do whatever. Just let it all out. Do what you got to do.
Like, you don't have time to get engaged in bullshit and like petty drama. So it's just so much better, like having projects, staying relevant. And it's a big part of my branding. So if some people maybe forgot, there's like about 6 years, I sort of went radio silent.
Yeah.
And one of it was due to my ex-husband. I was married to him for like less than a year, like nothing, but thank God. He's living in his parents' basement, by the way, and still to this day. So like, he didn't get the difference. Like, there was a Jasmin, and this is why I do signings, because that's what pays the freaking bills. And that's how you drink your Jack and Coke and eat whatever crap it is you eat. Fine. Then when I went to live in Norway for a while, I didn't know like what I was going to do. I wasn't sure like what I wanted to do. Did I still want to be Jasmin, or what did I want to do? So I came back. And, it's been great ever since. It's been like a slow rise to like whatever I wanted to do next. And with XPW being back, Rod's a great guy. I'm excited. They're taking Extreme to a whole new level. And I feel as though they will be giving the WWE, AEW, and Impact a run for their money, because now we have a female deathmatch tournament and championship. So we have these gorgeous girls that look like supermodels and fitness models, and they're bleeding. I've never, like, you don't see this. This is like every sick fucking weirdo out there. This is your wet dream come true.
Yeah. And Jasmin, you said it, the real thing about, I think wrestling needs that competition between WWE, AEW, Impact, Ring of Honor, NWA. I mean, they're all the big ones that, are on the top of the hill. And like you said, XPW, I mean, they're looking, you guys, because you're included with them, you're looking to do things of wrestling. And you got me intrigued. I want to keep my eye open too, because I want to talk about XPW because, like I said, they're becoming, I checked out a lot of what you guys are doing with the promotion, and it's a really cool thing. But that's definitely going to be coming up here on the broadcast on Off the Top Rope. Now, Jasmin, I did my research. Now, you, just like myself, you're an October birthday, so I'm gonna wish you way early October, happy birthday. So, but I'm gonna say this now: if you had to look, what would you love to have for an early birthday present in wrestling and outside of the ring?
Um, I wish like one of my exes was here so I could rub his belly. So then maybe I could like make 3 wishes like a genie. Let's see. All right. So outside of wrestling, I'm picking 3 things: 2 outside of wrestling and 1 in wrestling. Okay.
Yeah.
Outside of wrestling, to wow. Okay, to do my one woman show twice a month or once a month. That's what my goal is, because I have a one woman show, and that explains my story, is to, how I came back and reclaimed Jasmin after living in Norway. And, I do have a lot of fans to thank for that, for keeping me alive in subcultures for 25 years or 26. And subcultures are the coolest thing in the world because it brings cool people together like us. And I think that's like the first thing. And to take my mom back to Europe to live with me there, because in about 2 or 3 years, I will move back there. I just want to make sure my one woman show's back up and running the way it should be, and doing that. And in wrestling, a naked photo of Big Joe. No, he's hot now. I would just say, just to keep being a part of this as long as I can.
Yeah.
And that to me is a very big gift, and it's an honor to do that. And by the way, real quick, speaking of Ring of Honor, I thought AEW acquired Ring of Honor, but anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's really what I would like more than anything else.
Yeah. And the thing about Jasmin, and like, it's like, how tomorrow is never guaranteed. So I think in this world, live, have fun, because you never know what tomorrow brings. And see, like, you're doing that wrestling, you got your podcast. I want to know all about that too. You got your podcast going on, one woman show. So girl, you're busy doing a lot of big things as well. And you said a big thing that kind of, you've gotten your name back into the spotlight, and being in wrestling. Is that a good thing to like step away back from for a little while and just like, recharge the batteries?
Was I really recharging my batteries? I mean, people still recognize me in Europe and knew me very well there. So what was I really doing is the question.
Yeah.
I just wasn't doing as much. And I think a lot of people like wonder, so why are you single? Like, why aren't you like married or something? Okay, because I'm busy doing interesting, cool things with my life. I ride motorcycles, I take motorcycle trips. There's no way to really kill me off a map of anything, to be quite frank with you.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, I'm sorry, what was the question?
No, it's just like, just it is, like I said, is it good to just, recharge?
Yes.
And, even I know you're a huge name, but just, recharging, and, people, you probably saying some people will still know who I am, but is it good to just relax and just, have a margarita and just chill and just take a step back?
Yes. Happy hour isn't an hour. So yes, it is. Now and again, it is. It is good to recharge and do that. So I do that like a couple times a week. My assistant's awesome. So it's like, she reminds me, okay, you have yoga this week. You got to get your cryotherapy. But the thing is, I don't know if yoga really relaxes me, because I'm just naturally very hyper. And I always want to do something. Like, it could be 5 a.m. and I'm having ideas and I'm texting. I'm like, oh shit, it's 5 a.m, but it's always a game plan, because I don't have some like rich sugar daddy taking care of me and all this crap. It's just me.
Yeah.
And I like being able to always rebrand and do things that are cool. Yeah.
That's a cool thing about, like you said, rebranding. And it seems like with wrestling, being a wrestler, you being involved in the business, I would think you have to rebrand yourself, because in wrestling it keeps changing, fans change. So I think you're really on to something. Like you said, I want to keep rebranding myself, where fans may say, oh, look what Jasmin's doing, she's kicking ass. So that's what I think wrestling fans may think. I mean, you always got to think of new ideas outside the bubble.
Yeah. And it's always to keep them hooked, So whether it's a podcast, whether I was in a recent film, whatever, because I've been doing acting, I've been doing everything because I just don't know anything else. And it's been a great time. Sometimes it's challenging because I'm not the most tech savvy person. That's why I have people help me. And I just signed up for Cloud Campaign, which is amazing because it just posts to all your socials like at a certain time. I can't, like, my life gets out of control. I thought this interview was at 3. I forgot I had a 3 o'clock interview. So it's just when you have someone like keeping a track of your calendar that knows like when your hair salon appointment is, when your nails, whatever, then it's a different story. Like life's back on track. And then it's about managing time and like putting aside this day for that. Okay, so I'm banging out all my interviews on this day. The next week, this is what I'm doing. Okay, I'll do this, that, whatever. So yeah. But it's like now and again, it's good to just, have that outlet to go do things. Like I'll go work out. I'll go down the street, go walking, whatever. I'll go ride the motorcycle for a couple hours and come back. So it just, as long as I'm back on time.
Well, I know time can be crazy, the time differences, and I'm glad that you took the time to be on Off the Top Rope. But speaking of Off the Top Rope, fans, tonight, like I said, if you want to talk to the one, the only Jasmin St. Clair, she is live on Off the Top Rope Wednesday night. So leave a comment. I'm glad to read it on the air to her. If you have any questions about this show's upcoming Saturday for XPW, where I know she'll get the win and the W, so I'm rooting for her. But leave a comment. I'm glad to read it on air about the one, the only Jasmin St. Clair. Now, Jasmin, one thing about wrestling, it's all about the fans. And when you look at 2022, what do you want your fans to know about the Jasmin of 2022? Because I mean, people change. I mean, wrestlers. I mean, time just moves and moves. So what do you want your fans to know about you of the new year, 2022?
Well, I'm still an asshole. Like I'm just a refined. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm still an asshole. I'm just a refined asshole. But I'm still here. I'm back, and I'm gonna do, whatever I have to. Not have to, but whatever I want to do that sounds great and creative. And I'm back to work for a while. So yeah, I'm not really gone. When I found out AEW was there, I was like, all right, cool, that could be something. But they never quite like got back to me after I reached out to them. So okay, fine. But whatever it's supposed to be, like wherever it's supposed to be, it'll show up somehow, like mysteriously. And I believe in the secret, but I kind of don't believe in this whole manifestation thing because you have to go and put the work in there. It doesn't just show up when you're doing Netflix and chill with a what is that called? Bitch bun, a man bun, and you're sitting on the couch. It just doesn't happen when you're doing that. I'm sorry.
Now, Jasmin, you said you reached out to AEW, and there must have been a reason. Like I said, of course, you are definitely talented, and you just kick ass, do what you do. But what's the reason about AEW that caught your attention, like that you feel they're doing great things? I mean, what do you think that they're doing right now that really attracted you to reach out to them?
It was a few months ago, like before I started speaking to Rob Black, and I knew that there were another company. It looked interesting. It was a third company. I knew Chris Daniels because he worked for me when I had 3PW Wrestling, and he did quite a few work. He did a lot of work for me. So I don't know if it's him I reached out to. I just reached out to someone, a few people, but it's okay. Whatever it is, it is. And, if that's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. So I just, remember XPW is coming back. I thought that was great. Well, it's extreme. I've done mostly extreme, except for like XWF Wrestling when I worked in Memphis and all of that. So that's awesome. Plus, it's the market's dead. Like no one has that market right now. Nobody else has the extreme market, especially on steroids, like what we do there.
Yeah. Now, you of course you did run your own promotion. Like I said, big respects for you doing that. And
thanks.
What is a word of advice that you would tell somebody who doesn't want to get in the ring, but they want to be a booker, promoter, or wrestling owner? What would you tell them about if they want to run their own wrestling promotion? Because I know it's not easy. I mean, it's I'm sure it could be like a big headache. But what would you tell somebody who wants to be a wrestling promoter?
Yeah, it's tough. That's a fully loaded question. So watch who your traveling partners are.
Yeah.
Be really careful. And keep the overhead low and the promotion super high. It's all about homegrown talent. So you always want to be careful how you book that main event. And then, then you could book an undercard after that. and just promote the hell out of it. I mean, it's tough. There's so many indies out there. I don't know exactly how they do, but I imagine, a lot of people go to shows because we don't have, that much going on. Like I watched the pay-per-view, the WWE pay-per-view during the pandemic. And like when they first had these like, I guess
So like windows up and they were like kind of like a clear window.
yeah, or maybe there was just like simulated audience members. I don't know what it was, but then when you strip away all the flash and smoke, you see what the real product was. And I felt bad for the wrestlers because they had to wrestle around that without any true adrenaline or human, connection to a crowd, which is super important. Like, where's the adrenaline?
Yeah.
And they look just like video game characters.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I felt bad.
The one thing I love that AEW did, they put some of their wrestlers and used them as the audience. I felt when I watched between the two shows, AEW, they did their thing. I mean, I respect what Tony Khan did and just said, let's have wrestlers out there. And you can see that the wrestlers fed off the wrestlers from the crowd, who was the crowd, if that makes sense. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Now, Jasmin, I got some clips I'm going to run by you. Like, so hopefully you can see them on your screen. So I call this, because you know a lot about LA, so XPW being there. So I call this a taste of LA. So I'm going to roll this first clip for you. So now you said XPW is where it's at. Now, if aspiring wrestlers are in the LA area, why should they consider XPW to learn the ropes to be a wrestler?
That's a good question. We have a lot of different people from other federations that come to work there, and a lot of homegrown talent that have been trained by the best. So if they ever wanted to learn anything, I mean, that would probably be a good idea, is to try to go there, possibly. And I don't know if we have a school yet, but it's a great place to at least get a match in and get some experience.
Exactly. And it seems like with wrestling today, you definitely saying I'm wrong, but wrestling today, it's like with social media, like you said, all the indies out there. It's like, would you think that wrestling has a bigger network than it did back in the day when you started? Because there's so much people you can talk to. You can email this person, this person. So I'm sure you probably see that, like there's so many people you can talk to now because the wrestling world is just so freaking crazy with email, social media. So I guess is that a good thing?
It's like 50-50. I mean, we used to have chat rooms back then, but my whole theory behind that is people that are in chat rooms aren't necessarily going to get up off their asses and buy a ticket and go. They're just going to wait there for the report. The social media is good in a way. You can reach out to people that way. You could plug things for those kids that do watch it. I think it's a really mixed crowd because I did the LAX Fan Fest, and there were people that went to the first XPW show. They were younger fans, like fans probably in their 20s.
Yeah.
And, they were there for hours when we had the deathmatch tournament. I don't know what time that show ended. That was a long one. I do not anticipate the show being that long because there's no tournament.
You're probably like, for a long day like that, I need coffee or something. Like, I mean, man.
I left early.
Man, yeah. It's just like, I think like you said it, you can't stay in a certain place. Like, I get like that. Like, if you're in a certain place that's too long, do you say like, nope, I got to move around and go somewhere else? Like, do you get like that?
Sometimes, I mean, I was just tired. I just wanted to go home. I'm like, oh my God, it was really hot. I can only imagine how hot it's going to be this weekend with the show in Pomona, because it's like 100 and something today where I am. And the air conditioner was not working in my studio in the other room. So I had to like come into another one just to like, set up and do this. But I don't know. Like I just like seeing different things. I traveled a lot growing up. So it's one of those things where I feel as though it's important to go and see other things and see other cultures and, learn things all the time. So that's how I function.
Now, of course, like I said, it's just like XPW is the topic of conversation tonight because I'm interested about Saturday's show as well. And this one also as well, with your best knowledge of seeing what XPW has done from your eyes, looking at it, describe the impact, of course, that it's put on the fans as well as you, because I mean, I can see you're ecstatic about XPW. And what can you see about looking at the fans? Like, what are they doing right to attract the fans to come to like get your ass in LA and check this out?
They're doing something different for sure. And it's a different version. It's a better version of what we had. it's so many different people. We have a heavyweight division. We have a deathmatch division. We have a women's deathmatch division. I mean, we have everything there now. And we don't put all the focus on women's wrestling. Like in my interview with Kat Martini, she explained it, like what the whole formula is, but we don't keep it because so many promotions put it all about women's wrestling, all this, all that. It's like, come on, let's get back to some old school. Let's mix this, let's mix that, and just mix it all in together, and it'll be great. And I think a lot of people, some places are just focusing too much on making it women this, women that. It's like, all right, we get it. Okay, we got the equality, we got the equal pay. Let's just drop that shit now and just, can we get on to our regular program, please?
Exactly. Preach on, sister. Preach on. Now, for me, I grew up a wrestling fan since I was a little kid, and I'm all old school. And if you look at wrestling today, what about wrestling today that you think is missing some of that like old school flavor? I mean, because wrestling is different now than it was like back in the 80s and 90s. Like, what do you say wrestling is missing today that needs to get back to?
It's a good question. It's lacking a lot of stuff. It's lacking sometimes authenticity of people. So I hear about breakdowns sometimes coming in where they want people to be on a reality show who could wrestle. And then they were casting for Tough Enough. And I think that's really crappy. Let's just go back into, the pool of people that aren't known that well, that are super talented, that need that break. Like Matt Stryker used to work for me before. I don't know what he was after when he went to WWE. Same with Talia. I don't know, Velvet Sky, people like that. So that's what you got to do, is just look for the local talent. That's great. And build it from there. I feel like they lack a lot of managers. You don't have like some of the things that made ECW fun. And back in the 80s, we had like Miss Elizabeth, we had Sherry Martel, we had great things there that was a mixture. I'm not saying if you're going to go into this whole feminism crap, then put that in there too. Just put in a little bit of it. But we need more of the whole maybe double entendre things. We need to have men's matches the way we used to. Not, where it's kind of obvious if someone's faking a punch, but take it back to some of the old school stuff. And I'm not saying to bring in all the old timers, but see what their formula was that won. If Rob they found their formula at XPW, I don't see anyone else gigging. Is everyone going to copy us now?
Yeah. It's like I always believe that a wrestling show should have a little bit of each. Sometimes with time restraints, you can't give all that, but like you said, try to give a little bit of each. And just do what works best for you. And XPW is definitely doing that, no doubt. Now, Jasmin, I mean, like I said, you wrestling, acting. If you had to look at all your success, that's the big word, of course, success. How would you describe your success and what you accomplish in life and acting and wrestling? Your own definition of your success.
I think it's just doing whatever you really want to, and finding something else that fits that niche, and moving forward. So, and finding something else. I just think it's doing what you feel comfortable with, and not really giving two fucks.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Like I said, hey, I think I've learned as you get older, it's just like F it, keep putting the pedal to the metal and sauce in the pan and keep doing what you got to do. Now, it's funny you brought up, like I said, the big LAX, the convention, and I want to go to a Twitter take, of course. Back in June, you was at LAX Fan Fest, and of course, to me, what I've seen, one of the biggest events in the world. What about when you was there made you a believer that for fans, this is the event to come to, because it like it's a big deal. I mean, I'm like, I can get my ass to LA and come check it out.
Yeah, it was a great event. I'd say basically because of the talent that was there. And some of the girls I never met before were there. PCW had a nice little table. Then Katie from WWE was there. She was a British wrestler. I forgot which name she used to work under. So it was a nice, it was very intimate, I feel. It wasn't like one of those huge festivals like WrestleCon where it's like 500 people under one roof. Right. And that's too much, or whatever, 100. I was hoping Missy Hyatt would come out to one of these. They have the female one in September. It's mostly women there. So I have a feeling we're going to be there. So probably Kat Martini. I don't know if Tanya and Camilla will be there, but we'll see.
Well, like I said, that goes down. I should get my ass on the plane and come check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should definitely bring the ropes on the road and come check it out. With Jasmin Sinclair and all the wonderful ladies. legends. That's what you ladies are and doing that. So, but when that comes more about, will you be posting that more on Twitter about like what you just talked about?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And if you actually want to go there, I know the guy who runs it, so to get like a like a press pass isn't really a problem. Plus, I'm sure they'd like that.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And of course, we got to get crazy here on Off the Top Rope. And I got to say, I'm proud of you because I can tell you're feeling your passion. You got your own podcast going, Crazy Train. I like you spell that with a K. Now, Jasmin, like how cool is for you to do this, feeling your passion? I know this brings joy to you. Just tell me like how much of an adrenaline did your podcast bring to you? Because I could tell like you love, that's a badass picture by the way. I love it, but I could tell like you love doing it, and like how big is it getting? Let all the fans know about Crazy Train. Let's get crazy.
Let's get crazy, bitches. It depends what time of the day I do the podcast. Usually, if it's earlier in the day, then I'm crazier. Hold on. Because then I am amped up on coffee and I'm just going and going and going. And then I stop. So I like it because I have all types of interesting guests on there. Like the first, I guess, 4 episodes, it's just me being interviewed by someone. So you get the origins of Jasmin. Then after that, I start bringing on people. I've had Jazz on there. I've had Damian Sandow, April Hunter, like Prince Nana's coming on. I had Kat Martini. I've had writers. I've had actors. I've had like everyone, a lot. It's a really good array of people, which is fun because I just think it attracts everyone to listen to it. And I didn't think I'd ever be doing a podcast. It's doing good. I just started the YouTube page to put interviews up there,
Nice.
like video interviews. Yes, most of them have videos, so I have someone edit them and then we post them. There are going to be interviews up there that nobody ever heard before, and anything that has video footage, of course. So it's YouTube. It's Crazy Train Podcast, Crazy with a K. It's out every Wednesday, so that's always something to look forward to Wednesday mornings.
Crazy with the K. I love it. When I first saw that, I had to compliment her on that. Crazy with the K. Everybody, check out this podcast. Like I said, because I got to watch it myself. I haven't watched it yet, so maybe I don't want to get an ass kicking from you, but I got to check it out myself. But what I've seen, I'm gonna get crazy and watching myself. So no doubt, like I said, round of applause for you for fulfilling your passion and doing your podcast, doing what you love, and that's most important. Now, Jasmin, moving forward, it's crazy how fast the freaking summer has gone. But as we move on to the summer, from a wrestling standpoint, what do you want to accomplish moving forward? Of course, you have the big event on Saturday, but moving forward, what's one accomplishment you want to do in wrestling? I mean, want to win a title, just beat people up. I mean, what do you want to do?
Maybe manage a heavyweight or something. Like I did manage the first XPW heavyweight champ. Maybe manage another one and like beat the crap out of someone who gets in my way. I have Singapore canes,
I say if Jasmin Sinclair manages you, you're going to the top. You're going to the crazy top, and that's with the K, no doubt. So no doubt. But if you ever do that, I'm sure you will definitely succeed in that because you've succeeded in everything you've done in life. And like I said, you get a ropes round of applause for that as well. Now, Jasmin, this is your first time on the top rope, and when you're a guest on the ropes, I got to try and stun you. So we're gonna roll into the next segment where this question you may have to put the thinking cap on. So you ready for the next segment of the show?
Yes, I was born ready.
All right, let's rock and roll. Let's roll it up.
Damn, Ty. That's good.
Here's the question, and here's the clip for you. Now, since you're, of course, an October birthday, take one thing that represents October, your knowledge of LA, put them together, and create your very own type of wrestling match.
I would say a street fight match.
Ooh, street fight in LA. Yeah.
A street fight in LA with a street fight actually in Hollywood Boulevard or Sunset Boulevard.
That'd be badass. I mean, yeah, that. Well, that people. I've been to LA before, and I love LA. I get back there. Like that would be such a big attraction because people hang out there. Actors may see. So that's like big recognition for your match. If actors say, "Oh shit, look at that," So and you may be in it, like Jasmin beating a girl up or guy or whatever. So, but I like that. So I figure I'd tie into LA in October because October. You got blood and horror movies, people bleed, street fights, so it all ties together.
Yeah, and pumpkins.
Yeah, hit somebody hit with a pumpkin. Yeah, I'm sure that wouldn't tickle either. So you get a A++ for answering that. So I'm glad you enjoyed the question. Now, you of course, big Saturday coming up, and you got more stuff coming up too. So I want you to slam and promote all the things you got coming up because, like I said, Saturday, it is XPW Night of Reckoning. That is this Saturday. I mean, you got, of course, the one, the only Jasmin Sinclair. Now you got Brian Cage. Now, Jasmin, let everybody know, what's your anticipation going into your matchup? Because I see you're in a triple threat match, and they're never easy. So why should everybody check this out? Where can we watch it at? Jasmin, just promote the hell out of this.
Okay, so if you're not coming to the show, which you should if you're in LA. It's not too far from LA. We will, I can't tell you what happens, but there will be some action. I mean, you have this crazy, psychotic, tattooed girl running around like stalking the King of the Death match. I mean, who knows what else she's going to get her hands into, but we'll find out. But if you're not going to be there, tune in on Fight TV. That's F as in Frank, I, T Thomas, E Edward, Fight TV for the show. And there's a live meet and greet. There's a bunch of stuff going on. And every Wednesday, tune into Crazy Train Podcast. That's Crazy with a Quay. I actually have Kat Martini of XPW on the show this week. So it's her first podcast interview ever, which is cool. And I can't wait to see what happens. We did some promos before. And it's a very good lineup. I really can't wait to see the girls match, women title. And Sage Sin Supreme is a force to be reckoned with. Like, no other wrestling promotion has anyone like her. So she is one of a kind.
Now, going into your match on Saturday, let's just put it this way. What ideas you have going into this match? Because, I mean, no wrestling match is easy. So what's pretty much your strategy going into your match on Saturday?
There's no real strategy at this moment except to eliminate a problem, I should say, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. Eliminate a problem that's just lurking around and stalking.
Eliminate the problem. That's with a capital K because, like I said, Fight TV, I think one of the best wrestling streaming services today. Like I said, you got XPW Night of Reckoning. This Saturday, Jasmin Sinclair is one of the top lineups on that show. Check it out. And Jasmin, as we, of course, end out this Jazzy episode of Off the Top Rope, from 1 to 10, would you ever come back on Off the Top Rope again so we can party it up and talk it up?
Yes, 10 being yes.
Well, Jasmin, I just want to say first and foremost, like I said, God bless you. I'm proud of you. Keep kicking ass with your podcast. Kick ass this Saturday. And most importantly, God bless, stay healthy, and be safe.
Thank you very much for having me on here. I really appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Wednesday night was just Jazzy, of course, because it's Off the Top Rope. And this lovely lady, my live guest, the one and the only, like I said, she's been in ECW, TNA, just wrestling legend. Like I said, one and the only, Jasmin Sinclair. We all bow down to her. Jasmin, my dear, thank you very much. And like I said, good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
This is your boy, Ty Asbury. As I always say, love yourself. God bless. We're out of here. Have a great night. Off the Top Rope is out. Peace out.
Tyrone Asbury. Yo. Yeah. I need y'all to listen to me right now as I take you on this journey. Podcast journey. Only the greats can make it to this level. Ever since I was the younger man. I was podcasting truly so you understand. This is my life and my moment, and now a certain plan of everything that I did and truly who I am. Speaking as a man, I would always have the voice and the choice to be greater. I'm thinking about everything as I'm moving it later. I want you to realize who is the focus one, talking on this mic, and I become the one. You listen to me every time I speak to my voice. You got a choice just to listen to me or even clear it to me. This is the world of being great. And everything you say in the world now, moving now out the place. I want you to realize, to be like me. It's something truly that everybody can see. And the motive is to be great, not to sit back. Listen to everybody with their styles intact, and that's me. I'm Tyron, moving the mics on everything in the world. Stay important like a mic song. Quoting on the radio, know that you hear me.